grab your trusty manservant Ogab, Wargamers, because today he is smuggling you out of the Northlands, where the evil and perfidious King Kid Sniffer and his royal consort have taken over the kingdom. They have usurped the Cherry Blossom throne, and now, as Cal Arath, you have to get across the Tragoth River, get a hold of 500 gold pieces, get back over the river, pay off the mercenaries, and then wrap your thick hands around the King Kid Sniffer's throat and reclaim what rightfully belongs to you. As usual, we need to start by figuring out what our wits are. 4 ain't bad. The second thing we need to do is figure out how much gold we start with. And on a 6, we start with 4 gold. I'm not going to show you the chart. I've shown you enough times. So we have no food. We have no starvation. We have 4 gold. So if we get to a settlement, we have some options. That's pretty good. The one thing we do need to look at is where our starting hex is. This game has so much replayability because look at that. There's 6 different starting lines for you. Today we're going to start at number 5, which is Weshore. Alright, so I don't like starting in communities. I'm not a big fan of communities. Let's see, where's Weshore? I think it's, yeah, there we go. It's that little village right there. For the sake of illustrative purposes, if I were to stay in town today, then there's a very good chance that this event would occur. Okay? Well, hang on. Let's do the math. Subtract 3, add 1 if you're in Weshore, which we are. So subtract 2, and if the result is 1 or more. So on a 1, 2, or a 3, this event occurs. D6 thugs with combat of 5, endurance of 4 attack me, and I have to roll a D6 to find out what happens. If I try to evade them, I get attacked. I need to roll a 4 or higher. If I try to negotiate with them, I may need to bribe them. And if I try to fight them, I'm either going to surprise them or they're going to... I think this means they surprise. So at any rate, I got about a 50-50 chance of going unnoticed. And if I'm noticed, there's a 50-50 chance to get away. I don't like any of those. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to get my sorry carcass across the Weshore River. And that means heading off down into the swamp. When we want to cross a river, we got to find out if we get lost. And that means rolling 2d6 and hoping we get an 8. Sorry. You get lost on an 8 or higher. I want to roll less than an 8, which I did. We still need to see if I encountered anything. I did not. That's what the event 10 plus means. So the good news is I no longer have to worry about those mercenary boys. The bad news is I need to find out if I'm out of the farmland. And on our travel table, here you can see I get lost on a 10 and have an event on an 8. Oh, excuse me, get lost on a 10, which I do not. But the event, because I have successfully moved into that hex, I need to roll for the event on the swamp chart. And for the swamp chart, I have an event on a 10 plus. 9 ain't gonna do it. I can go hunting, which is good because I got no food. I mean, I got 4 gold, but I got no food. So we roll a 2d6. We take our current endurance of 9. We add our half our combat skill. So that's a 13. Subtract this from 13. And then, oh, I think I found some food. I think we're having chicken tonight. So I found 9 food. And I got to eat 1. And then I go on to the next day. On day 2, we got to try to find our way out of the swamp. And now we got to start thinking about strategery. Last time we tried to come down here to check out this temple. I think this time we're going to get nuts and we're going to try to make our way down to the Doris Temple, which is a long haul through the Kabir Desert. Not an easy thing to do, but hey, securing your throne from a usurper, nobody ever promised you it would be easy. First thing is getting out of this swamp, though, and on a 7 we don't do it. So we got to check for an encounter. And on a 10, we do have an encounter in the swamp. We're going to roll on our encounter chart. And as always, see the 10 plus? As always, the green is going to be for down and yellow across. So we got a 5 and a 6. So E093, we encounter poisonous swamp plants. The triffids are coming for us, and that little E093 tells us what paragraph to look at in the event book. Which, just so you're aware, this event book has a total of 200 events. So, like I said, a lot of replayability. You notice poison plants around you today, often a sign of greater evil. You cannot hunt for food. All right, well, we got 8, so that's okay. And roll 1 die for an additional event. Okay, we get a 5. And so we have to go, oh, no additional event. Okay, that's fine. So all this means is we can't hunt today. No problem. We still eat our food. We've got 7 left. And by the way, 10 is your maximum you can carry. Get back in the swamp, Cal. And we move on to day number 3. Still lost. Still no event. But we can hunt. We get an 8, which means we found 5 food. So we go up to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. When we eat 1, we're at 11. Don't worry about that. We're going to leave a cache of food here. We're at 11 food if we need to. The next day, we're on day 4, I should say. On the next day, we are still lost in the swamp. One of the hardest hexes to get out of. And with an 8, we have no event. So, we will hunt. And with a 9, we find 4 food, which we eat 1. So we're at 15 food. Day goes up to 5. On a 7, we're still lost in the swamp. On a 4, we find 9 food. We eat 1 for the day, so we go up to 23 food. And when I finally can move on, I'm gonna set a cache here. So don't worry about the fact that I'm carrying too much food right now. I won't be for long. We're on day number 6. And I'm still lost. And I do not have an event. And I do hunt for 5 food, of which I eat 1. Go up to 27, and this is the last day of our first week. Oh boy, still lost. And we have an event. And we have a 3-1 checking our chart. Spectre of the Inner Tomb. Event 034. Let's take a look. So scary. So scary. But maybe there's treasure. Remember, we need to find 500 gold. So if we can defeat the Spectre of the Inner... What is it? Of the Inner Tomb. Let's take a look. Looking around the atrium of an old tomb, you notice a hidden passage to the interior. You pass within, but it is a long hall, taking the rest of the day to explore it. You sense the presence of a Spectre. You can either retreat or continue. If you retreat, the event ends. All right, if you continue at the end of the day, before the evening meal, you finally reach the Inner Tomb and find the Spectre. It is only hurt by poison wounds or by wounds from a magic sword, which we don't have any. So I think we're going to go ahead and choose to retreat. Call me crazy, but I'm not a big fan of unwinnable fights. So we eat our food. We're into the second week, day 1, and we're still trying to find our way out of the swamp. Still having no luck doing that. Don't have an encounter today at least, but we can hunt, so we add 5 more food to our cache. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're up to 30 food, of which we'll leave 20 behind. Week 2, day 2. Still lost. Another encounter. Wow, this is a really busy swamp. 5-1. In the swamp, 5-1 is impassable morass. Oh, well, that explains why we can't find our way out. These morasses are the worst. E089. Here we go. You discover the swamp turns into an impassable morass of weeds, quicksand, water, and muck. You can leave this hex only by moving to the hex you came from. In other words, your next move must be backwards. However, the hex might be passable if entered from another direction. Only this particular route is blocked. You can only leave this hex by moving to the hex you came from. Oh boy. That's going to be a problem. So what that means is, instead of trying to head to any other hex, I don't remember which hex we were trying to get to, we have to go back to the town on the other side of the river. So the first thing we do is try to cross the river. Oh, I forgot, it's day 3, and I ate 1. Okay. I've crossed the river. That means I have to establish my food cache. And I'm going to only take 10 with me. So I'll move my counter to 10. And I was at 29, so that means I'm leaving 20. I'm going to leave 18 behind. So that's what this penny here. Well, man, you know what? That cache is not going to do me any good. It's a waste of time, because the only way to get the cache is to come through here. Yeah, you know what? It's not explicitly stated in the rules, but you know, it only makes sense. That cache is not going to do me any good, because I'm never going to be able to come at it except from the town of West Shore. I do need to roll for an event on the river crossing. I get nothing. And then I need to see if I found my way out of the swamp. So I'm in the same boat I was before, but I'm just on the other side of the river. Again, I'm lost, and there's no event. But I do eat 1 food. And, oh, you know, the day goes up, but I can still hunt here, I guess. 8, so I can get 5 more food. Again, the cache is not going to do me any good. So all that does, a successful hunt, allows me to not have to burn that 10th food. I'm still lost with that roll, and I don't have an encounter at least. Day goes up to 5. I'm not lost. Okay, so I finally get back into this town of West Shore, where I've got some, I can rest here. Okay, but I'm ending my turn here. So remember that thing we were trying to avoid? That's going to be a problem. Well, I can, at least, the good news is, let's see, I think I did travel to a new hex. I don't know, I'm in the same hex, I just found my way to town. I think, the flowers, so at the start of the day, I found my way through, yep. So essentially there's like a little half hex here, and I'm in the town. At the end of the day, I can spend a gold to get a room. Do I have to? I don't think I have to do that, though. Hunting is prohibited. At the end of the day, I do need to spend a gold on a room. But before I do that, I'm going to check to see if the mercenaries catch up to me. I mean, we're 2 weeks in. It's like been like 13 days. What are they doing still looking for me down here? These guys are really aggressive. Roll 1 die. Subtract 2 in our case. And if the result is 1, oh, this event does not occur. Okay, we made it. Whew. However, we got to eat our food. It becomes the 6th day, and I have to move over to this farmland. I can try to get lost in this swamp. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and move to that farmland. And to get out of a farmland is lost on a 10. So I do make the move. And then, let's see, the result is roll 1 more. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and roll to see if these mercenaries show up. I got a 2, which is a 0, so they don't. I'm good. I'm not going to hunt here. When you hunt in a farmland, there's a very good chance you encounter some restless natives. Just gonna rest. I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna move up to the last day of the 2nd week, and I'm gonna try to get across the river. On a 6, I do get across the river here into this what do you call it? They call it countryside. Right on. But I need to leave. Oh, I need to roll for a river event. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Something happens. We're on the river. And I get a 4 or 5. So 4, 5. It's the wolves. It's the wolves. I got to roll 3d6. 5, 6 wolves. You gotta be kidding me. I was eaten by wolves last time. Might as well just grab my old sheet. I gotta eat my evening meal first, and then as I'm laying down to sleep, they jump me in the evening, but I'm ready for them. I'm a survivor, man. These river wolves ain't got nothing on me. You know, one other thing I want to do before I do anything else, I want to see if I actually get out of that the farmland. Lost on a 10. I'm okay. We don't need to deal with this. This is the only event we're going to have for the day, so we got to do this fight. The good news is I get to swing away first. We'll put our little combat chart down here for ease of reference, and I get to swing first, and I'm fighting at a +5. The difference in our scores means I add 5. So on a 7, I do nothing, and now I got to go through 6 of these guys. The good news is they're fighting at a -5, so a 4 is nothing. For the second guy, a 1 is nothing. For the third guy, a 3 is, so that's 1 wound. And then this guy delivers 1 wound, so I'm at 2. This guy delivers -1, that's 1 wound, so I'm at 3 wounds. And then this last one is a 4, which is nothing. So I took 3 wounds. Okay, so now I'm at -1 to my attacks. So instead of being +5, this roll is only a +4. And I got a 7, so I didn't do, okay. All right, my combat skill, we subtract 5 from that. No, wait. Yeah, we only subtract 5, so that's a 2, which is nothing. And the second guy gets a result of a 2, which is nothing. Third guy gets a result of a 4, which is nothing. Number 4 gets a 2, which is nothing. Number 5 gets a 6, which is, wow, I'm really getting lucky on this. These are the worst wolves ever. -2 is nothing. All right, so moving on. 8 minus 4 is a 4, so I do nothing. And then we get 6 attacks. So it's an 8, which is a 3. That's 1 more wound. 2 wounds. Nothing. 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 -4 is a 7, so that's nothing. And the last one. Subtract 4, you get a 1. That's nothing. Alright, so I'm down to 5 wounds. Not looking good. Can we get... Oh, thank goodness. Okay. I am at a +5 for this. -1 for my wound. I'm at a +4. So that result is a 16, which gives me 5 wounds. So I finally kill this first wolf. And just for the record, when you roll the wolves, you cannot escape from the wolf attack. That's just great. So they get 5 attacks on me, and I think it's all going to fall apart here. A 0 is, that's actually a 1. That's a nothing. 5 is 1 wound. A 4 is nothing. A 2 is nothing. And a 4 is nothing. Alright, so I'm down to 4. Now I'm at -2 for my attack. With the difference, that means I'm at a +3. And a 7 + 3 is a 10, so 2 wounds at least buys me a couple of negatives here. Now, because I have taken more than half my wounds, they're at +2. So the -5 becomes a -3. This guy is at -4, though. So that 7 - 4 becomes 1 wound. I'm down to 3 left. This guy is at the straight up -3. A 5 is a wound. A 5 is a wound. I'm unconscious. And a 0 is nothing. And this last one is a 1, which is nothing, but I'm laying there unconscious, and the wolves tear me to shreds. So again, last time I was killed by wolves on this side of the mountain. This time I'm killed by wolves on this side of the mountain. This is a great game, isn't it? It actually is. I've barely made a dent in it. It's really hard. Hard is good. We like challenges. When we do finally beat this game, we're going to feel that much better. Hopefully we don't start over here on the northwest side, though. There's some stuff over here I'd like to check out. Some magic sites and some other little villages. What is the one over here? Branwyn's Temple. I want to see what's going on down there at that temple. But I'm not going to be able to do it today because I'm too busy being digested in the belly of the beasts. We'll try again next time. Until then, I'm praying for you.